Hello everyone, I'm Lily Rosson.
And I'm Cole Paulson.
And welcome back to Deep Space Wine, the podcast that attempts to recap and decode every episode of Deep Space Nine, the forgotten stepchild of the Star Trek universe. Each episode we share a bottle of wine, wind down, and then wind ourselves up again with our strong opinions about DS9. Because in our social experience, there is nothing people love more than when someone talks at length about Star Trek or wine.
Or the endless debate of whether or not Bajorans are sexy.
I mean, what a divisive debate. I don't think there's anything going on in the world that's...
It's the most pressing question of our time, and I have major updates on it.
Thank God.
I'll be bringing in extensive background research and citations, so brace yourselves, everyone.
Obviously. I do know you, Cole.
I take my work seriously.
You do. We got a review recently. What did it say?
Silly? I believe we were called silly.
And informative.
Silly and informative.
Yeah.
I think that was our mission all along.
I think so. If it wasn't in the beginning, it is now.
Yeah.
So we're back, Cole. How does it feel?
We're back, baby. Oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. We're back.
Is it like a bit of a homecoming?
Hey-oh,
Yeah.
title of the episode. Welcome to season 2, episode 1, The Homecoming.
The homecoming. I mean, it's perfect.
I didn't even realize how fitting it was for
Yeah.
this. Yeah, because it's good to be home.
It's great to be home. And I guess I want to say sorry to our fans for the long hiatus. We can all agree that 2025 was a dumpster fire. Have you had a good 2025, everyone? I don't want to hear about it.
Don't tell us about
Don't
it.
tell
Keep
us
it to
about it.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy for you, but
Yeah.
not really.
I'm not happy for you. No. Yes, but if my TikTok tarot ladies are to be believed, we've left behind the year of the snake and we are galloping into the year of the horse. So everything's going to be fine. Everything bad in your life is probably done. So don't even worry about it.
Yippee-ki-yay, I'm ready to saddle up and get on this horse. Happy
Yes.
year of the horse.
Yes. Wait, are you the horse or are you riding the horse?
I think either one could be a disaster because I don't know how to ride a horse.
I feel like in my mind, you know how to ride a horse. In my head, you're a cowboy from Colorado.
Yeah, it's because you have a very high, you hold me in high esteem.
Yeah, I
and
think it's the Americana thing
Thank
as
you for
well. Like, just in some assless chaps.
You're the horse, baby.
Cole, you've also been busy with a few other podcasting projects, and I'm not jealous enough to think that maybe you shouldn't do a little plug. So you should go for it.
Thank you, Lily. Yes, we knew we'd always find each other again.
Yes.
Never a doubt. But yeah, I've been keeping busy with a few other audio projects. If you want to check them out, my brother and I have done this project. He falls on the opposite end of the political spectrum from me. And so we did this experiment called News Swap. You can find it on your podcasts, where we swap the news we read for 3 weeks and see what it's like to live in each other's media worlds and then discuss afterwards. And so we're trying to see if we can heal polarization just a little bit if we understand how we're living in separate news worlds.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Yeah. Or just even listen to each other.
Yeah, it was an experiment in just trying to listen to each other properly, which is really hard to do nowadays.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
And I've also been doing a podcast called Deviants. 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 It's all about social taboos and people who like to break them. We just did a really fascinating episode where we interviewed a guy who's in love with 6 different chat GPTs.
Amazing.
So if that tickles your pickle, check that out. Deviants.
Ooh, tickles your pickle.
But Deep Space Wine is my one and true love, so it's good to be back.
Yes, well, as I've told you before, I'm secure in our attachment. Not with anyone else, just you.
We are securely attached. There's never a doubt.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me gallop away free and do these other projects.
You must. Ride that horse, baby, because I know that I'm your favorite podcast co-host and also Best Friends Club.
Facts. Lily and Cole are back, y'all.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
Yeah. And suck at Cole's other podcasting partners who are very good, and you should all check it out. It's some great listening.
My brother doesn't watch Star Trek, so he's never going to hear this. It's fine. So Deep Space Nine Season 2. Here we go.
Yes.
I've personally never considered Season 2 as one of my favorites. But then again, I thought Season 1 was rubbish, and this podcast has revealed its unexpected riches. So prove me wrong, Season 2.
Yeah, Season 2, it's kind of a wild ride in the Wild West again.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Lots of great episodes, lots of bad ones. I really look forward to reviewing the bad ones with you.
Yes.
Those are going to be a field day. I feel like Season 2 was this awkward transition period from the series that the writers had planned in season 1 to what the show would ultimately become from season 3 onward. So there's sort of these growing pains, figuring out what sticks, like the last gasps of the science-y episodes, the Alien of the Week episodes, Bajor in politics in a lot of big ways.
Yeah. That shit that people love. Bajor in politics.
So one of the biggest criticisms of season 1 was audiences were just not feeling the Bajorans, the Bajoran religion or the politics.
Yeah.
So what do the writers do? They're like, okay, how about we start the season with a 3-parter of Bajoran politics?
And maybe the problem was that there weren't enough sexy Bajorans.
Okay, maybe they are fixing things in season 2.
I don't know.
So yeah, we start off season 2 with Star Trek's first ever trilogy. Very ambitious. They just went all in with the Bajorans.
Great.
It's almost even a 4-parter because it picks up a lot of the threads from the end of season 1 in the hands of the prophets. The Bajor trilogy, I think this is called. Truly one of the great sci-fi trilogies of our times, on par with Star Wars, with Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
Actually, I do see parallels, and I will be getting into those in due course.
Great. I've always said this podcast is not nerdy enough. Should we throw in D&D as well?
I mean, I know you want to. Yeah, definitely ambitious. Even the writers admit it was maybe too ambitious. They admit they maybe could have done this in 2.5 episodes. So this is a nice slow start with the homecoming. It lets us breathe like a nice red wine, which is maybe not the worst thing. It's a nice gentle trot of a start.
Yeah. A lot happens though.
For sure.
Should I talk about the wine?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
And then we can get into this episode.
And then we can crack it open and really get into it. Onto the wine.
Yes.
Yeah, like a year between drinks. Is a
desert.
lie. But tonight we are drinking a 2023 SC Pannell Montepulciano. Have you had a Montepulciano before?
I have. It's Italian, I believe. It sounds Italian.
It is Italian.
It was a guess.
It is an Italian varietal. Specifically, it's from Abruzzo. But this one is made in Australia. It's made in Langhorne Creek and McLaren Vale. We've had plenty of wine from McLaren Vale. It's in South Australia, like 45 minutes from Adelaide. One of my favourite areas.
They do good wine there, as you've taught me.
Yeah, just really lush wine. And the Montepulciano is a lush fruit-forward grape, but rides the palate with leather and tobacco notes.
Rides the palate just like we're going to be riding that year of the horse.
Right?
Tobacco and leather and
tobacco.
That's very cowboy.
Yeah, very cowboy. And 2 tasting notes that you've never been sure about.
I mean, in theory, I think I'd love like notes of leather and tobacco.
Yeah.
That's like an old-timey saloon vibe.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Okay, great. Now I'm distracted because I need to know who we are in the old-timey saloon.
Well, you're the
Madam.
The madam. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. With a heart of gold.
Heart of gold. You look out for your girls.
Yeah.
Your makeup is on point.
Great.
Your cleavage is on point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, the piano player?
I don't know. How many times can I say arseless chaps in this episode?
As many as you want, babe.
Right.
This is our podcast.
I know, we make the rules.
I don't think they really
Is there
had.
an adult here?
Did they have assless chaps in the Wild West? Well, I guess.
Well, I think
you just didn't wear the pants.
Well, you wear the pants underneath, so they're all arseless chaps.
Sure, yeah.
So leather and tobacco notes.
Yes.
And this wine has a particularly good story, as the winemaker is Australian, and he moved to Europe to make wine for a very long time, and then he came back to Australia to make Mediterranean-style wines. So he had a bit of a homecoming, if you will.
Hey-o, and she's done it again, folks.
Daily episode. Everybody take a shot.
That's not a bad idea, listeners at home, unless you're driving or something.
Yeah. Or like a shot of wine is a bit strange. I'm hoping people drink wine while they listen to this.
I just assumed.
Yeah. So notes of this wine, and this is from the producer. On the nose, you get mulberry, cherry, and cassia. This wine is medium-bodied and juicy with playful tannins.
Oof.
And there's also one lovely bit of copy that's on the wine bottle, and it says gentle, plush, and alive with music.
That's the place I want to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Should we go there?
Pop that cork, baby. By the way, everyone, this is our first video podcast. So if you've been wondering all year just how hot Lily and Cole are, ta-da! Leave your opinion to yourself, because I have a fragile self-esteem.
I can take it.
Yeah, you can, can't you?
I can take it.
You're so cool.
No, I'm just like, you're into it or you're not, you know?
Respect. Anyways, yeah, find us on the YouTube if you're listening via podcast. Cheers to homecoming.
Cheers.
It's a bit leathery.
Oh, leathery.
Can you call it leathery? Before we dive into the recap, maybe I'll just offer a little framing of a thesis.
Give me that thesis.
Some thoughts, everyone, before we start. You and I have agreed that the DS9 writers are amazing storytellers. They spin this epic 7-year saga with all these interwoven character arcs. And I think that's really what sets it apart from other Star Trek shows. I mean, Next Generation, I love you, but you're just a different breed of television, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe it's no surprise that you and I have also noticed the writers sort of have this preoccupation with storytelling as a theme and as an art form. In season 1, there was a whole episode about it, The Storyteller. Mm-hmm. And we had characters like Maritza and Garrick and that old man on the moon in Progress. Characters whose entire identities were built from these sort of origin stories that they told. And in The Homecoming, we have another character whose whole identity is built on a story. But in this case, it's one that spun out of control, and now the story controls him, which I think is really interesting. And we'll get into that once we hit that beautiful monologue that he delivers later. But, dear listeners, I argue that this trilogy, this saga, isn't really about Lee Nollis. I think it's about another Bajoran hero. Lily, any takes? What Bajoran hero do you reckon this trilogy is actually about?
I'm going to say it's Kira.
It's Kira, y'all.
Yeah.
This is the Kira trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the 3 episodes even take her on a bit of a hero's journey. And maybe I'll get into that as we come to the close of the trilogy. But what I think is so interesting in centering on Kira is that something you and I clocked in season 1 is that Kira is actually a really bad storyteller. She's guileless, she's direct to a fault. She's sort of a blunt instrument, and her bluntness is always getting her into trouble. She's way more interested in doing than in talking or being cunning. And sometimes you and I have found that a little grating about her character. Mm-hmm. But I think that is what makes her the hero in this trilogy. Because she's in this world of political gamesmanship. There's this struggle for power and leadership on Bajor, and everyone's trying to manipulate public sentiment and control the narrative and spin the narrative. And meanwhile, Kira's just making shit happen.
Yeah.
Embrace yourself, Lily, for a bit of a feminist lens.
Feminism.
Bear with us.
Oh, when Star Trek gets so woke.
Yeah,
right?
you know. Yeah, Kira's surrounded by all these men who are spending all their time projecting leadership narratives about like power and strength and fear, violence. And I'll point out some of those tried and true narratives when they come up in the recap. Mm-hmm. These men are like trying to tell everyone that they're leaders. But meanwhile, Kira's just showing us what leadership actually looks like. Mm-hmm. So I never loved Kira more than in the next few episodes. And DS9 proves once again that it is as relevant as ever. Because politics today, it's a constant battle to not just control the narrative, but dumb down the narrative, usually leaning on these really dumb, masculine, simplistic ideas of what power and leadership are, like winners and losers, who's strong and who's weak.
Yeah.
And I think this highlights just how limited that is and how dangerous that is.
And I think, say what you will about Kira, she has one of the strongest moral compasses in her own sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's what guides her actions.
Yeah.
Is just being glued to that.
Yeah.
And she's just surrounded by people who spend a lot of time making noise. Again, the narratives, the media narratives that we're spinning, highly relative to that News Swap project I was doing with my brother. News Swap, everyone, check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, please do.
So let's dive in.
Great.
Saddle up. I'll stop with the horse metaphors,
Never
everyone.
stop
I'm sorry.
with the horse metaphors. Okay, recap. So it's a homecoming. We're home again in the promenade. We're at Quark's. We see some familiar faces of Quark-adjacent villains.
It's all of our favorite aliens.
The ones who, I guess, didn't go to jail.
I swear one of them died last season.
Maybe one of them
but
died,
he's back
but he's
bar.
back. Or maybe we're just being racist and it's his brother or
They
something.
don't all look alike.
The shot pans over the dabo table. Underboob dabo girl is there, of course.
You know, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Exactly.
Dabo girl is still at it.
She's there and we're home. Immediately, our favourite will they, won't they couple, Quark and Odo, come to a beef. Just quickly, I think Quark's jacket has had a little revamp. So instead of the big safety pin, there are now some bulbous gold buttons, and I approve.
Okay. We got Lily's stamp of approval. Costume watch, everyone.
I just like people to change it up, keep it fresh.
Quark, he's a bit of a fashion icon, isn't he?
He is.
I think he spends his latinum on the latest looks.
He must. I mean, he's a publican. He's not just selling drinks, he's selling himself.
Whoa, what, a publican is like a bar owner?
Yeah.
That's such a fancy word.
Me. Stop. Anyway, there's a bit of a cat and mouse altercation. For once, Quark has been actually an accurate CI, criminal informant, which only makes Odo more suspicious. Odo insists that Quark is the enemy, and thus something doesn't sit right in his waters or in his goo.
Doesn't sit right in his goo.
It doesn't sit right in his goo, and I will be using that phrase again. And he says, "You're up to something because you're always up to something."
Because you're always up to
You're always
something.
up to something.
Great line.
And the dialogue and the patter with these two is really giving Beatrice and Benedict.
Much ado
Very
about
much
nothing.
about nothing. Yes.
That's such a good call.
Yeah.
I was always a huge fan of Benedict and Beatrice because the subtext of I hate you is like, let's get it on now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is exactly like Odo and Quark. Oh, because they secretly love each other.
And every scene with them, I'm just like, keys.
Keys. I introduced Lily to this Saturday Night Live sketch where Kate McKinnon is this old woman, and on her birthday, she just wants everyone to kiss, and she just goes, keys.
And that is me. Now and forever. The world would be a better place.
Yeah, honestly.
Anyways, it turns out that actually this is the 76th rule of acquisition. Every once in a while, declare peace. It confuses the hell out of your enemies, which is, I guess, what's going on.
Yeah.
Also known as edging, I guess.
Stop. Oh my God, stop.
I'll never stop. But what's this? A femme fatale in a silver onesie to rival our very own Cole Parsons 7 of 9 drag that he did. Check out the Instagram. I have a very heterosexual friend who saw the picture and said it made him feel flustered. So if that tickles your pickle.
I was nominated for Best Costume at Halloween in my 7 of 9 drag. There was exactly one silver catsuit that I barely managed to slip into. So that's high praise, saying I look like this purple-haired freighter captain.
Yeah,
that
and
means,
7
that
of
means
9.
a lot. And so, yeah.
Oh, I got you, boo.
But yeah, how hot is this random like dominatrix femme fatale?
She's super hot. She's got the purple hair of a mentally ill baddie and a feline structured face.
You know, she comes back a couple times on the show. I call her Madam Plot Device.
Yeah.
Because she'll just show up and drop some artifact that drives the plot forward and just look sexy doing it.
Chekhov's dominatrix.
Check out dominatrix. Exactly.
Anyway, so she opens with the line, "Evening, Quark. How are your lobes?" Which makes us think they've had sexy times in the past.
Do you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, haven't we established that Quark is kind of into sub
Sub?
stuff?
I don't know if we've established this, but like as of right now, Quark is 100% a sub
Yeah.
looking for doms.
Yeah.
That's not just headcanon, that's canon.
Yeah,
I don't know
think
what
at
to
this
tell
point
you.
it's canon. Like that shot of him like peering up through her legs of her skin tight leather outfit.
Yeah, and he wants to be told what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, Purple Baddie has a Bajoran earring and it's from Cardassia. From a Cardassian. She's like, got to give this to you.
She's like, can you just give this to a Bajoran because I gotta go.
I guess she's busy doing something really hot that they're not going to show on screen in Star Trek. And then he gives her a little kissy on the cheek. And could just be that I'm coming down from heated rivalry, but I could watch a whole episode about these two. Will they, won't they? 10 years. What's happening?
This scene is just so silly because it's so much more than it needs to be. It's the most extra scene.
Yeah. It's just when they go full noir for no reason except that it's Deep Space Nine.
I think the show's favorite genres are Western and noir.
Yeah.
And this episode does both of those for sure. Yeah, we'll get into the West. I mean, wow, I didn't even realize that. This episode was actually based on a Western. And here we are talking about this Year of the Horse, old saloon.
It's all coming together. As
What are you again?
As always done.
The
Madam.
The Madam. Yeah. Here we are, the Madam and whatever I am. Assless Chaps McGee.
God, I'd be a good madam.
You'd be incredible.
Thank you. Cut to Kira.
Kira's quarters.
And guess what? She's in her netted undershirt.
Lattice undershirt in full effect. You know this episode has riches in store when we see the netted undershirt.
Yes, I like that.
It's
Riches in store when you see the netted undershirt.
Mm-hmm.
And she's praying to a Bajoran mantle that's in her quarters that I don't think we've seen.
Yeah, nice reminder of her piousness or devoutness.
Yeah. But Quark arrives, and he is and has always been a bit of a sex pest with Kira.
My notes literally say Quark enters being a sex pest.
Yeah, and then I have explicitly written, it's because he has sub-energy and Kira is very dumb.
Quark, we've got your number.
So there you go. But Quark is actually there to deliver the mysterious Bajoran earring, and Kira demands to know all the details. Kira runs out, and Quark stays behind, presumably to go through her unmentionables.
Yeah, what a way to show just how shocked Kira is to receive this earring, because she abandons Quark alone in her quarters.
Yeah.
Nah, sis.
Yeah.
Not a great call.
Like, do you think she has spare netted undershirts? Do you think she has like 30 of them?
Well, you could ask Quark, because he's about to find them.
Oh, man. Armin Shimmerman, give us a call. And so, yeah, that's the teaser. It's some mystery jewelry.
Again, it's a slow start to an epic saga, friends.
I don't know. I feel like a lot has happened already.
It's true.
I'm titillated.
Well.
All right. Then we get some Cisco Jakey time.
Oh.
Jake is in one of his patented onesies, but it's a new one.
New season, new onesie.
But still a onesie, because I guess that's his age range.
15-year-olds of the future.
And I'm now thinking about this. Like, I suppose a lot of his friends would be Bajorans, and that's what they wear.
He's trying to fit in with the Bajorans.
Yeah.
That's such a good call.
And it turns out that Jake has a little Bajoran girlfriend.
Yeah.
And has come to the old man for some date ideas. And he's thinking to take his Bajoran girlfriend to the Holosuites, aka the sex dungeons. And Cisco is not pleased.
Not
at
in
all.
that onesie. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least put on some assless chaps. That's 3, if anyone's counting.
Keep it coming. Shots. I'm kind of with Cisco on this.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, Jake is so young.
He is, but he's so tall, it's confusing.
True.
Kira interrupts, and she and Cisco head to the Replimat. And Cisco orders...
Did you clock how long the scene was, too?
So long.
They had to pad for time, y'all.
It's so good. This is why we watch this show. So he orders a Ractigino with a Jacqueline peel.
And it's peak Avery Brooks. Ractigino with a Jacqueline peel.
Because he's feeling zesty.
Can you ever, you're the gourmand here, do you ever flavor coffee with citrus?
Yes, I've done it with tonic. If you do like a shot of espresso, tonic water, and orange peel, that's actually very, very delicious.
Okay.
So maybe that's what we're thinking.
Yeah.
We'll never know. But no. So it's not just this drink. He also orders an Icaberry tort. And it's just like, he's having a good day.
Like 10 minutes later,
It's a
Cisco
very
has
great day.
finished ordering his breakfast.
And Kira's, I guess, been pretty patient.
Really testing Kira's patience.
And now his day's ruined because Kira's asking for a runabout to go to Cardassia 4 to rescue a prisoner of war who I guess is who the earring belonged to.
So this is classic Kira just shooting from the hip. Does not spend any time building a case. She's just direct to a fault because Cisco's like, come again?
Yeah, doesn't even order an Icaberry tort to, keep things cash.
She then at least provides a little context. Bajor has this power vacuum going on. Bajor has broken out into violence with all these different sects fighting each other, which is very Iraq after the U.S. invasion, very Syria after the revolution, and it really needs strong leadership. And she hopes that this guy who might be on a labor camp on Cardassia 4 could be that hero, right?
Yeah, what's his name?
Lee Nollis.
Lee Nollis. He's the dude, he's the resistance leader.
He's some revered war hero. Even Cisco's heard of him.
Yeah, and he did a bunch of stuff for Bajor during the occupation. And he was presumed dead. Everyone thought he's dead, but maybe not, because here's his earring that someone's managed to give to the dominatrix.
What are purple? She's got the purple hair of a, what did you say?
Mentally ill baddie.
Excuse me. The purple hair of a mentally ill baddie.
And I'm not just saying that. I've read a bunch of articles that have been targeted to me, thanks a lot, about how people who are mentally ill are more likely to have fake coloured hair.
Well, as you can see in this YouTube video, both of us have our natural hair.
Yes.
Which means all is well.
I am totally sane. So, the Bajoran Provisional Government are being pussies, as usual.
Yeah.
So Kira has had to come to Daddy Cisco for help. Bajor needs a leader to unite the Bajorans because there's all this political unrest, as Cole was saying, since the death of Kai Opaka, or the
death and resurrection, because she ain't coming back. Because
vampirism.
The vampire transformation. Yeah, exactly. No more Kai Opaka, huge leadership vacuum on Bajor.
But hold up on this mess, because Cisco has to go investigate some tagging.
It's exactly what it is.
It's like bright yellow, kind of like a circle. O'Brien and Odo are on the case.
And O'Brien is not having it.
No.
Very anti-graffiti.
No, I mean, he's a union man. Yeah, so there's apparently some mishgas about global unity called the Circle, which is Bajor for Bajorans. They're an isolationist, bigoted group.
Yeah, like this ethno-nationalist faction that's on the way up.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yep.
Yeah. But the Circle is also a lame and stupid name.
It's not. They could do with better branding.
Yeah.
Oh, branding. That comes up later. Oof.
Yikes. We'll get there. So yeah, Cisco was really trying to have a good day, but it's coming at him from all directions, and shit must be getting really real because he's tossing his baseball around.
It's nice. I love that you start to see the symbolism of the baseball.
Yeah, it starts to come in.
And it symbolizes like his attachment to Bajor and also his mental state, right?
Totally.
And he's feeling a little frantic about whether or not he can protect Bajor right now, so he's tossing the baseball around.
Totally. Dax arrives, and first of all, love that Cisco is coming to Dax to troubleshoot his problems.
Yeah, his confidant. One of my favorite best friends clubs on the show.
Yes, definitely. They have such an interesting rapport, and I do think that Terry Farrell is starting to take the role to a slightly different place in season 2 already, where she has a bit more of the gravitas of someone who's lived many lives.
Which we've decided is in universe because she's integrating the wisdom of all of her past hosts too.
Not just a model learning how to act.
Exactly.
Because we're apologists for this show.
All the way home, all the way.
Anyway, but Dax already knows the whole situation.
Because Kira's been blabbing about it to everyone.
Kira's told everyone. Cisco thinks that Lee Nalis could unite the divided Bajorans, but there's still the problem of Cardassia. Even though they swore that they released all the Bajoran prisoners of war, it's like a bit of a sticky kind of like, well, did they? And then what the hell is this thing? And side note, loving Dax's acting, not so much her hair.
Yeah, what's up with her hair this season?
It's like got a real helmet sort of bump it vibe.
Yeah, and the ponytail's like coming up out of the middle.
Yeah. Anyway, Cisco gives the go-ahead for this secret mission
for Kira to go rescue this guy from Cardassia 4.
And everyone is pleased as punch, including O'Brien, who has some technical advice for how to sneak past the Cardassians, because Kira's also told O'Brien.
Because again, this is this top secret, potentially war-starting mission to Cardassia, and Kira's told everyone.
Yeah.
The woman has no guile.
No guile, but it has also worked in her favour and kind of gotten it done. Because Dax has given her 2 cents and O'Brien's helping out.
It's the hammer. The blunt hammer, just pounding away till it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kira, keep up the good work.
It's who she is. Next scene. Stop what you're doing, everyone. Because on Deep Space Nine, it is free dress day. Kira is in her Bajoran civvies, which kind of make her look like a young knight at a Ren Faire.
The sort of swashbuckler pants.
They're kind of pirate pants. They're like tight along here and then kind of poofy as they go down.
Yeah.
And she's got like high boots.
Because she's trying to be like incognito for this mission.
Just
it's off the record. It's
any
not...
old Bajoran. There's a belt. There's a crochet kind of knit vest that goes over the top.
And I have things to say about the crochet. Some notes from the costume designer. They actually realized that they needed to move away from the onesies for Bajorans.
Great.
And this was a very deliberate shift to make crocheted knitwear clothing a motif of Bajoran fashion, which I actually think fits the Bajoran ethos so much more. Just this sort of earthy, spiritual, homemade. So I'm all for the knits and crochets for Bajor, which was very intentional here.
Yeah, crochet. Not just a thing that mentally ill women do. I've never done it. Cisco and O'Brien show up, and O'Brien's got a bit of a Bajoran glow up too.
He's also looking smart with his off-duty civvies.
It's like teal and textured, and it's sort of got this cool coat on.
Who would have guessed O'Brien looks good in teal?
Yeah. What season is he? Someone tell me. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like there's some mojo happening with him doing like a secret mission to do with shooting Cardassians, because that was, you know, sort of his bit for a long time.
Right. So back to the plot. Cisco's like, hey, Kira, you need to take O'Brien along.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Very insistent about talking about that jacket.
Like, I mean, priorities. Excuse me.
So yeah, Cisco says, go on the mission because you're a better pilot than Kira, blah, blah, blah.
And they needed something to give O'Brien to do this episode.
Yeah. And they certainly do. On the runabout, Kira and O'Brien are about to leave, and she warns him that they'll either achieve their mission or die in the attempt.
Slightly overblown stakes, but I guess it again highlights Kira's sort of black and white, all or nothing mentality. Yeah. Very like, do or do not, there is no try.
Yeah. And I reckon it was her mantra during the occupation.
Yeah. It's Kira's whole...
Raison d'etre.
Yeah, raison d'etre.
And then Miles is all like, yeah, just another Monday, whatever.
Might
We're going to get tortured, brubs.
Yeah, might get caught and tortured.
And then there's a quick bit of subterfuge with a Cardassian ship asking about their status because they're trying to hide as they get into Cardassia 4.
This was all a little Star Wars coded.
Very
like Han Solo. Tricking the...
And she's dressed like Han Solo.
Yeah, she is.
And you sort of forget, because she is the hammer, that she can use subterfuge.
Turns out that she does have some skills.
Because she was a freedom fighter and
Yep.
would have been in all kinds of situations and had to like do things on the fly.
Yep.
And O'Brien is like very chuffed with this. And I'm beginning to like this duo. And I kind of feel like they have a bunch of chemistry.
Interesting. I mean, 3 seasons later, there's actually a whole plot about that where Kira and O'Brien want to bang, and they have to keep their hands off each other to not piss Keiko off. Actually, that starts here. Continuity, folks.
Yeah.
Man, Deep Space Nine, how do you do it? Kiss. They do. These two have some really good chemistry. They make a good team this episode.
And I think that there's something about they're both quite black and white thinkers. And I think there's something about the way they just go and get the job done without philosophizing.
That's such a good call. Sorry to anyone who's not Myers-Briggs MBTI out there, but they're both S. They're not, let's analyze the big picture. Let's just get it done. Let's make shit happen. And also, I think S people are probably the best in bed because they just make it happen.
Okay, and now we're talking about subs and doms again. And we'll discuss this later, Cole. Because the people don't want to know?
They do. Everyone's here for this. Please. The Trekkie and the kink Venn diagrams have a strong overlap.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably any fandom, but I do think there's something about the way Star Trek just withholds and withholds and withholds and withholds.
And Lily's kinks, everyone.
Anyway, let's get to this labor camp.
So they arrive at Cardassia 4.
They arrive there. There's a labor camp that isn't supposed to be there, isn't supposed to have prisoners.
Not cool, Cardassia.
No, and there are about a dozen prisoners there. And thus our 2 new friends have to land the runabout to try to save everyone. The labor camp is horrible, obviously.
I love this scene.
Yes, but also kind of hilarious. Because the prisoners are collecting rocks.
They're just like piling rocks up.
They've just got these like wicker baskets and they're just collecting random rocks.
It's very Monty Python, the peasants stacking piles of mud.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a depiction of, you know, historically things that have happened in horrible genocide and things like that. But also, why are they collecting rocks? This is so silly.
I mean, Cardassians are assholes.
Yeah, maybe just doing it to do it.
Exactly. Cardassians are assholes. The setting, a little behind the scenes, it was filmed in a rock quarry in California. So this was
That's what they had.
An actual rock quarry.
Yeah.
And the filming there was about as dire as it looks. It was extreme cold and extreme heat. The crew had to prepare for like bees and snakes and bugs.
Oh, cool.
And the now visitor said she was seriously wondering if everyone was going to get heat prostration because it just felt like hell.
She was all rugged up in her crochet.
She had to wear like multiple layers and it was hot as hell. So yeah, it was rough, but it pays off.
It looks rough. So basically Kira and O'Brien wander up to this labor camp with the Cardassian guards. And the ruse is that Kira is a prostitute and she's there to see like the prefect, the guy in charge. And O'Brien is her pimp.
I have questions. This guard at this rock quarry on a moon of Cardassia isn't confused when a human and a Bajoran just stroll up selling sex? What?
But it must have been so common during the occupation.
Yeah.
So common. All these Cardassians into Bajoran ladies.
Okay, and on that, did you catch the line, Kira's like, how do I look? And O'Brien says, there's not a Cardassian alive who could resist you. So, like, are all Cardassians bisexual?
Yes.
It's canon now.
It's canon.
Which honestly checks out on every level.
Yeah.
Cardassians are bi, everyone. He's like every Cardassian would hit this.
They've got a bit of like a non-binary... It's the lizard person thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great. Here it is.
And O'Brien, wow. What a compliment.
He gets it. Yeah.
He's like, you look like a prostitute that is going to get some.
And don't tell Keiko, but...
Yeah. God, she and Keiko are like opposites.
Polar opposites.
Gosh. I can't wait for season 3 when we get back into this.
Yeah.
But I'll be finding nuggets of this through the whole rest of season 2.
Brian Kira's sexual tension.
Yeah. Anywho, she is successful in honeypotting this random Cardassian guard.
Because he's a dum-dum.
He's a dum-dum, but also maybe it's been a while since he's had some sweet Bajoran tail.
Yeah.
And that's what he's into. And he's into that crocheted outfit and... I don't know. There's no questions. She's sort of saying, I'm here for the prefect. And he's like, yeah, but, I'm not busy. I don't really need to watch these prisoners pick up rocks.
The guard summons her and like leans forward to peer down her shirt, which I think is how men look at cleavage, just to like peer down.
But like, it's really high. The undershirt neck is really high.
Yep.
And then she goes to show the tiniest bit of cleavage. And then she beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, and we love to see it.
Which is great. And she and O'Brien kind of phaser their way out. And they're sort of trying to save all the prisoners.
Yeah, it's a great action scene.
Yeah, it is.
You got like guards up on top of the hill
levels.
And shot down. There's levels.
Yeah.
This trilogy does levels.
Yeah.
Which is honestly very rare for Star Trek.
They're not
good
just
action
on a
scene.
soundstage in California. So yeah, they're trying to save everyone, which is more than they anticipated. But there's a bunch of people from the camp who stay behind to essentially fall on their sword to save Lee Nalis.
The devotion to this guy, Lee Nalis, is so intense they're willing to die for him to be rescued.
They're like, leave us behind, take him, which is what happens. So we're back on the station and Kira goes running into Cisco's office only to find our old mate Gold Ducat on the monitor.
Ducat's third appearance, only his third appearance of the show. Here he is.
But he looms large, huh? I think it's his long neck. And the acting and whatever.
And the acting. It's all of it. It comes together. He does loom with that neck.
So he's issuing a formal apology to the people of Bajor, as apparently they had no idea there were still prisoners on Cardassia 4.
What?
How could we have known this thing that was happening? All seems suspicious, but as Cisco says, until we know their motives, best to just be grateful that the prisoners have been returned. So maybe everything's going to work out without too much political unrest.
Great, we'll take it.
And
nice work, Kira.
She
made
did it
happen.
And O'Brien.
Excuse me. Yeah, nice work to both of you.
Yeah.
And you looked great doing it.
Yeah, he did. We're in the infirmary and Julian is being problematic. He's treating Lee Nalis and saying that he's, read all about his deeds and considers himself a bit of a history buff. And this, to me, feels like a bit of a callback to season 1, episode 1, when he was telling Kira about being on the frontier.
That's such a good call.
Yeah. So, like, looking at the sort of abject misery and hardships and even just the sort of day-to-day life of a culture that's not his own and exoticizing it.
Yep.
And
just painting it as the backdrop for his heroism.
Yeah. And a thing that he can collect,
Yeah, he reduces this guy Leonalis to a historical figure.
Yeah.
As opposed to a person who's been suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good call. He just still sees this as the backdrop to his own story.
He's definitely thinks he has main character energy.
Exactly.
So Leonalis says he actually doesn't love talking about those days, probably because they were very traumatic and also some other reasons that we might find out about later.
Yeah, Nalis is not having it. And it's really nice cinematography here because the whole scene is a close-up of Lee Nalis's face and you just see his extreme discomfort with all of this being called a war hero, the internal turmoil right in his face.
Yeah. It's like all our faces when we're listening to Julian Bashir. Kira goes to meet Minister Jaro, who
Yes.
I think is a piece of shit.
Minister Jaro is a piece of shit, but can I interrupt this recap for a moment? Because, hello, Frank Langella. Lily, I find him really sexy.
I am going to allow this interruption because it's very thirsty. Please do go on.
Well, and like, can you be proud of me? Because you're always giving me grief for having sort of obvious taste. But like, I was really taken by Frank Langella, Oscar-nominated actor from Frost Nixon. And turns out I am not alone in this. I did some research, and this guy, he's a legend of the stage and screen. And he also wrote a memoir that is essentially just a list of every famous person who he's hooked up with or who's hit on him.
Great.
So
What's it called?
It's called Dropped Names, Famous Men and Women as I Knew Them. I did not...
Great title.
Yeah. I didn't read the book, but I read a New York Times review. Okay, this quote's amazing. Langella's book celebrates sluttiness as a worthy, even noble way of life. There is so much happy sexuality in this book that reading it was like being flirted with for a whole party by the hottest person in the room.
That sounds delightful.
So he
Have you ordered us copies?
I know, honestly, should we just do a book club? Like he hooks up with Elizabeth Taylor, Betty Davis, Rita Hayworth, who was 20 years his senior.
Rita Hayworth.
Going after the Cougars, right?
She still would have been good, though. She still would have been great.
Oh, for sure. The review says, Langella is relentlessly affable in the face of nonstop groping by famous people. He ambles into history and falls into notable beds like some kind of sexy Forrest Gump. Isn't that amazing? Like, Hollywood just couldn't get enough of the guy.
God. Did he have famous roles?
So he was mostly a Broadway actor, but apparently he just had this gravity where
He's very tall.
Yeah, and he's got these like deep black eyes and this aura about him. I mean, like Laurence Olivier flashed him one time and said, "Oh, Professor, see anything you like?"
Yeah. And I'm sure that's where the story ended.
From what I can get, Langella just loved teasing people and leading people on, and he loved having all these boys hit on him too.
No, he had sex with them.
Do you reckon?
And he didn't put it in the book.
That's probably a good call. Because he does not leave out the men. He says Noel Coward hit on him in the presence of President and Mrs. Kennedy.
Oh my God.
Right?
I need to read this book.
We need to read this book. And then, who is he partnered with for 5 years? Partner 5 years in the 90s. Goldberg.
Sure.
Another Star Trek legend.
Amazing. I mean, Whoopi and Ted Danson. She had some real fellas, tall guys.
So, sorry, everyone. It turns out, Sexy Bajorans, thy name is Minister Jaro. And
Yeah.
we can get back to the recap now. Back to the plot. Minister Jaro shows up, and he's not a nice guy.
Yeah. He kind of warns/threatens Kira that she technically fucked up by going against orders. And she, essentially declared war on Cardassia, but they declined the offer. Which is a big call to make. Feels like a threat. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. Kira's just gone on this do or die rescue mission, and she gets a pretty stern slap on the wrist.
Yeah, and his body language is very threatening. Like, he sort of holds her by the shoulders, and he's very tall.
Excuse me. It's really tall.
We need to stop broadcasting.
I said nothing. All right, fine. Yes.
I won't, but you should. Meanwhile, on the promenade, Garrick must have whipped up another fit for Leonalis because he is looking very clean, very fine, but also subdued, sort of in a grey outfit.
He's looking cleaned up. You reckon Garrick put this together for him?
I reckon Garrick's been working round the clock making these Bajoran civvies that aren't onesies.
He probably designed the beautiful Kira and O'Brien.
And he's very textural in his designs.
That's it. Layered and textural, just like Garrick himself.
If only Garrick were in this episode and there were like some really unimportant scene where they were talking about it. But instead we get Ika Berry taught.
He comes back soon, you guys. Don't worry. He comes back soon.
Thank God.
Yeah, Nollis is in sort of gray. I think it's him really trying to blend into the background. He's
Yes.
not a showy person, and he does not want to be noticed.
But he is being noticed. He is a celebrity.
Those Bajorans be staring.
They're seeing him. They're sort of congregating around him. Leonalis gives a short but sweet speech. It's very subdued. It's not pushing any kind of agenda.
He's just happy to be free.
And clearly wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
He's interrupted by power mad Jaro, who is sort of trying to get a piece of this popularity, which is very politician of him. Like, you sort of align yourself with someone who's popular.
He says a politician can't give up an opportunity like this.
Yeah, he literally says that.
Yeah.
It is just the most blatant example of what I was talking about at the beginning. Politicians spinning their narratives and then often exploiting other people's stories to support those narratives. It's like dragging along a war vet to sit in the audience for a State of the Union speech, or I don't know,
Bringing the gold medal winning hockey team to cheer for you when you're making a speech, you know.
For example.
For example.
Yeah. Leonalis rolls his eyes, which Cisco finds kind of funny.
Yeah, he wants the ground to swallow him up.
Yeah. Look, I think for me, I feel like Cisco has some empathy or at least sympathy for what Leonalis is going through as the emissary and as someone that has sort of been swarmed by the Bajorans as a leader and as a savior.
That's a really good call. Cisco understands personally how his existence is sort of symbolic of something.
Yeah, and I think that maybe by the end of season 1, he's coming to terms
Started
with
to
it.
come to terms with it.
Yeah, but it takes a while.
I still might call Cisco out a little bit for his eagerness to use Nahlas as a symbol himself. I mean, Cisco knows how frustrating this can be, but he is ready to exploit Nahlas in his own ways.
Everyone is.
That's it.
Yeah. Cisco shows Leonalis to his quarters. And what the heck are these flowers?
I was waiting for you to tell me, Lily.
Okay, so they're pink. There's sort of like 2 parts to them. The bottom part looks like lady parts.
Uh-huh.
I speak as I find. But then the top is like a thistle, also pink, like a pink thistle. And then Leonalis sniffs the thistle.
Is there some symbolism happening here?
There's something happening, but he sniffs it while talking about being grateful for privacy. Yes, tell me.
I've got it. Okay, so like even a rose has thorns. Lee is being hailed as a hero. There's all this adoration, but Nahlas knows that it comes with a price. That thistle has some spikies.
The juicy lady parts might have a...
The juicy lady parts flower looks beautiful, but it's got a sting to it.
Yeah, or
Okay.
rose
That's what
has thorns.
That's
Yeah.
what fame is, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, the flowers in these quarters.
There needs to be a whole soundbite intro for the flower analysis we do. Dun dun dun, flower analysis.
Yeah, is that the next one? Sometimes there's no flowers though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so I guess he's feeling kind of grateful and he says, this morning I was a slave, tonight I'm a hero.
Which is interesting because he's already realizing that heroism is its own form of cage.
Yeah, which he sort of experienced in the labour camp as well because people sort of revered him
Yep.
and tried to save him.
And he was ready to escape that, but it's not going to be that easy for him.
Yeah. And then he and Cisco get down to nuts and bolts. Essentially, that there's a power vacuum and it's one that Cisco and many others hope that Leonalis will fill. So as you say, there's a little... It's not strong-arming, but I think it's... Cisco can be extremely convincing. And I don't want to use the word manipulative, but...
Well, Cisco is a politician. He's got to be for his job. And he wants to use Leonalis as his mascot.
Yeah.
He wants Lee to be the face of the provisional government and the endorsement of the Federation's presence.
Yeah, because he's like, what's the alternative? Jaro or Kaiwin?
Yeah. I gotta say, like, is Cisco any better than Minister Jaro here? Because he just wants to use Leonalis as a prop, as a puppet.
I think it's better because Cisco's not looking for the power himself. He actually wants what's best for Bajor.
Yep. Yeah. And what he thinks is best for Bajor is we're trying to unite all of Bajor. Kira and Cisco want to unite everyone.
Yep.
And Cisco wants to use the tried and true narrative of let's all rally around a hero, a leader. Let's sort of get this cult of personality that everyone can gather around.
It is fascinating because that's not really what the Federation is based on, but Bajor is a younger civilization. Or they're not, but they're recovering from...
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
rebuilding and
Yeah.
there's all this factionalism. And Cisco, I mean, he's a pragmatist. He knows how to spin these narratives and that's what he thinks is going to work.
And he might not be wrong. So we're back at Quarks. Quark is gouging Rom's weekly pay, which seems to be a ritual they have once a week.
Oh, poor Rom. What do Frankies do in their spare time but just count gold? I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
It's very like goblins down in Gringotts.
Yeah. And it must be my inner Ferengi, but the Latinum does look rather pleasing.
You are such a Ferengi at heart.
I kind of am. At my basest. Get in the lobes.
I mean,
Give me some gold.
Fashion icon, hedonist. It's not the worst way to be.
Yeah.
I support you.
Yeah. But what's this? The masked men from Eyes Wide Shut attack Quark and do something to his head with a glowy red stick.
They brand the poor guy.
Yeah, it turns out it was a brand of the infamous taggers, the Circle. Bajorans for Bajor. So in the infirmary, Julian is quite firm with Quark about holding still. And it might be the most attractive I've found him in the series.
Oh my. We're airing everything.
Am I wrong?
You've learned so much about both of us this episode.
I feel like it's nothing people don't know. Look, I'm the first to say that Bashir is awful, but
Hey, I'm not here to yuck your yum either.
you know me, competence, a firm voice.
God.
Moving on. For some reason, there's a whole bunch of people there in the infirmary. It's Cisco, Kira, and Lee Nalis, presumably so they can explain the civil unrest.
Yeah.
Cisco explains that people have grown tired of the provisional government being ineffective, whereas the Circle seems to get things done, which is sort of like a mafia or a civilian militia, something like that, where, you know, gotta fix the potholes or whatever, and the bureaucracy of the provisional government's like, yeah, we'll get to it in 3 years or whatever.
It's classic. Okay, so here's another narrative. The narrative the Circle is presenting by branding poor Quark is this ethno-nationalist, down with outsiders, which is classic fascism.
Yeah.
The idea of like, we are stronger if we reject all the outsiders and stick together.
Yeah.
They're responding to government weakness and this ineffectual government, but the narrative they're using to get attention is this racist nationalist one.
Yeah. And they pick the Jewish presenting character and then literally brand him with something.
That's such a good call, actually, choosing Quark for it. I mean, the word, do you know where the word fascism comes from?
Fascist. Sticks?
Yeah, it's a bundle
Yeah.
of sticks. It's
Yeah.
Italian for bundle of sticks. And the idea is we're stronger together. You can't snap a bunch of sticks if they're held together. So the Circle is like, we need to cling together and be strong, and that'll make us a strong planet. And it's another narrative like, let's all rally around a leader like Lenalis.
Yeah. And there's an outside problem that's causing this stuff. You know, that's sort of where the insular stuff comes from.
Exactly.
So like
It's the outsider's fault.
There's like terrible Latinum stealing evil characters
Down with the
big
Jewish bartender.
features, like doing this stuff, and here we are.
Exactly.
Back at Cisco's quarters, Jake is awake, not being able to sleep.
Oh, poor Jake.
Turns out Jake got ghosted by his little girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's a race thing.
Yeah.
The girl's father didn't want her dating a non-Bajoran.
Which you can see this Bajoran girl's dad, probably like apolitical, but he's been watching too much Fox News and the Circle has gotten to him. The Circle's spinning this nonsense narrative to get power, and this is the effect you get on the ground, turning these Bajorans racist and telling their daughters not to date humans. It's a nice way of humanizing how shitty this ethno-nationalist fascist bullshit is.
Yeah.
How meaningless it actually is.
Meaningless, and the follow through that can be devastating on a personal level,
Yeah,
not
poor
just
Jake.
a macro level. The noir mood lighting in this scene is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we need to just write an entire PhD about noir
Noir on DS9.
and DS9.
Is that what I should do with my life?
Yes, and this.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's just so incredibly beautiful, and what a way to light this scene, which is so poignant, because it's Cisco explaining to his son that it's not his fault that this has happened. He's a victim of something really ugly, bigotry and racism, and he doesn't deserve it. And he like gives him a kiss on the head and sends him off to bed. But yeah, I equated this scene with, not that I have any right to, with being a Black American and your child being called the N-word for the first time.
Yeah.
And having to explain that ugliness, and this like historical kind of huge microcosm that all comes down to this thing that is just hurtful and ugly.
Like, where do I even start trying to get my son to understand this ugliness?
Yeah.
That's a great connection. And something I'm sure Avery Brooks was conscious of during the
Of
scene.
course. Yeah, of course. So next thing for Cisco, who's continuing to have a rough day or a couple of days. There's a lizard guy on the comms telling him that a Bajoran has been discovered trying to stow away on his lizard ship.
Yeah.
And what's this? It's the hero, Lee Nahles.
Trying to run off to the Gamma Quadrant.
Trying to run away and start a new life. And cue disappointed daddy Cisco face.
Cisco's not pleased.
It's not a face I want to see. They meet up and Lee Nahles explains...
why he's trying to get the heck out of Dodge.
Exactly. Basically, he explains that the whole lore behind what he did was sort of by chance. It was almost a slip and fall. He was waiting to maybe shoot someone and then like fell down a rocky cliff and killed a gull who happened to be renowned for massacring Bajoran villagers and being just an evil, evil Cardassian, and caught this guy bathing. So he didn't have any weapons on him. He had nothing. He was like...
in his underwear.
And Lee Nahles killed him. And despite Lee's telling the truth about this story of, you know, I was right place, right time, the story becomes an epic battle, like a mythical folktale, something to inspire the resistance.
To motivate the troops.
Yeah. So it's kind of like he failed upwards. It just happened. And he has this great line. He says... but I had done nothing but shoot an unarmed Cardassian in his underwear, which is... technically, he still killed this guy who was massacring hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of Bajorans. But yeah, it's nothing like an epic story that you would imagine. And after hearing all this, Cisco doesn't care and tells him Bajor doesn't need a man, it needs a symbol. He can believe that that's what happened because... sure, why not? Like, it's war.
But he just admits, look, you need to be the legend. You need to be the
Yeah.
myth. The details aren't important. We need to put you up on a pedestal.
But actually, like, maybe having someone really humble and not interested in political gains or self-aggrandization is the perfect person to be in power.
I think to Cisco's credit, he does see Lee Nahles as deeply patriotic, but also humble, very humble and self-sacrificing.
Yeah.
And he does know that he'll be the right symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful monologue.
Yeah.
It's the centerpiece of the whole episode. So this story was inspired by a Western. Going back to, DS9 is noir, but it's also Western. The writers love seeing the station as this frontier outpost, and they love borrowing from Western plots. This is pretty much directly lifted from an old Western called The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance with Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne. So,
God, what a pairing.
right?
Love Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Geez, I'm Jimmy Stewart. Well, gosh. So Jimmy Stewart's the Lee Nahles character, and he mistakenly gets credit for killing an outlaw. And the acclaim he gets from it takes him all the way to the U.S. Senate. But turns out it was actually John Wayne hiding in the shadows.
Classic John Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And poor Jimmy Stewart, he goes to the local newspaper and tries to correct the narrative, just the way Lee Nahles does to Cisco. And the local newspaper editor says, "This is the West, sir. When the legend becomes fact, print the legend."
Yeah.
And man, so the movie, I guess, was all about the anarchy of the Wild West. But how apt is it for today? If you think about social media and AI junk polluting everyone's feeds, how we're all trying to consume the news through layers of BS. Social media is the new wild, wild west.
Yes.
Where it's impossible to know what's true and what isn't, and where myth just runs wild.
Yeah.
We're in the post-truth era. The other thing that really struck me from this scene, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, Lee Nahles, he's a wonderful guy, but he got all this acclaim just from killing a guy. And there's this frustrating correlation between masculinity, physical prowess, and leadership, which unfortunately we're still equating to this day. Maybe we've even rolled back the clock a little bit.
I'd say we have.
I don't know how many other people noticed this, but there was this debate with Trump and Harris in 2024 where Trump praises the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban for being a strong man. He's like, they call him a strong man, but that's what we love him for. He's a tough person. Like, Trump doesn't even realize that the word strong man is to describe a dictator, a person who bullies his way through government. Trump just hears strength, and to him, he thinks that's leadership.
And I think also with Trump, he doesn't just like strength, he likes strength of narrative.
Yeah.
So like Putin or like when he got all flustered around Zoran and Dami.
Yes.
Because that was a strong narrative. That was a strong person.
Finally, a counter narrative.
And he was like giggly.
Yeah.
It was weird, right?
Because game respects game.
Yeah.
Because say what you will, Trump understands narrative, and he knows to make it in the simplest terms, to say, I'm the winner, everyone else is losers. He respects other leaders who convey strength as being leadership.
As long as they're men.
Yes. And then on social media, we dumb down the narrative even further because we try to... There was this idea that with social media, there would be this democratization of news because everyone would be able to report on the ground. But everyone just wants the most likes. And so they make the simplest narrative possible. And it's just been dumbed down to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
What message will penetrate the furthest?
Yeah.
He's a hero. He's a villain. He's strong. She's weak. And it just, I feel like the shit show of Bajor right now is very, very topical.
Yeah. I think so.
Poor Lee Nollis. He just wanted to run off, but he's being forced to be this.
Probably go be a hermit somewhere.
Yeah. Doesn't want to be a pawn.
You feel for the guy.
Hmm.
So we're coming to the end of the episode. We're in Ops. And Lee Nollis has been voted Navark Lee. It's this new title that's been created specifically for him.
Which is an actual word. It turns out Navark is a Greek term for a naval commander.
Okay.
That they plucked up out of somewhere.
Navark Lee, just a title that sort of means nothing.
Yeah.
But Minister Jaro has also decided to place Lee Nollis in Major Kira's role. She's been reassigned to Bajor because he is a sneaky, sneaky politician and he's got things that he's trying to do. I guess that he is thinking about subduing Lee and keeping him away from the Bajoran people, but still having him be like a figurehead, but just far away without any power. And then we get a to be continued.
Da, 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 da. Oh, I've had some wine.
Well, that's the point of this.
Yeah, amen.
Okay. One of the points. What do you reckon?
Which is better, The Homecoming, A New Hope, or The Fellowship of the Ring?
I mean, for me, it's A New Hope, but, you know, there's so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody kiss.
Brother, sister, just kiss. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No problem.
No one will care. Yeah, I actually think it's a very strong episode.
Do you?
Especially for a first episode back for a season 2, which is a tricky, tricky place to be. And as you say, we're not rollicking towards season 3 or 4 where it sort of hits its stride as what it wants to be as a series, which is Cisco with a goatee.
Yes,
and no
yes.
hair.
But it is, they figured out their strengths, which is political intrigue, geopolitical arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So I think it is beautifully emblematic of what the show becomes.
And I do wonder how much of an influence our very good friend David Livingston was on this, because his obsession with storytelling
Exactly.
is sort of, I feel like, what drives his incredible brain and maybe what drives the production of this TV show. I'm not sure.
It's one of the things.
I can't say I wasn't there. Yeah.
No, it's great. I'm really looking forward to the rest of season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, we've waited a year for this. Fashion Watch?
Fashion Watch.
We're back, baby! Fashion Watch! The Homecoming is back.
All right, you tell me yours, I'll tell you mine.
Knits are in, everyone.
Yeah.
The Bajoran crochets are here, and
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I think when Kira's being a swashbuckling prostitute, she's looking the best she's ever looked. Excuse me.
That's all right. When I'm a madam, I will have one swashbuckling prostitute.
Okay. For the pirate kings.
Only one.
I mean, what else we got?
Well, I think a little shout out to Miles O'Brien, who never really gets to look handsome. And you know what? He's bringing it.
Get in and mix it up with some teal and flirt with someone who's not your wife, because you deserve that
Acting
little...
as a bit of a pimp.
He was having the time of his life, wasn't he?
He was alive.
The best thing that maybe ever happens to O'Brien.
Yeah. But then obviously, we got to call out our purple-haired baddie
Oh, snap. So much has happened. I totally forgot about
in
our...
her silver onesie. And as someone who's worn one, I'm surprised that's not your top
Well, I
top
guess
of the pops.
don't like other people barking up my tree.
Stealing your look.
Yeah, stealing
You are the dominatrix in the silver onesie.
I mean, who wore it best? I think the answer is Cole. But
Yeah. Go to the
sure.
Instagram, please, and have a look.
Yeah.
Feel flustered.
But we respect you, purple-haired freighter captain.
And
we respect you.
Can't wait to see her again.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. It's going to be good.
She's great. Yeah.
All right, prop watch.
Okay, what did we even have? Leonalis' earring.
The earring was good.
Yeah.
Like, it was especially jingly jangly.
Have you noticed?
What?
Because now that I'm attracted to Bajorans, some of them at least, I've started to notice.
The size.
The men have like really big dangly ones.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a coincidence.
No.
Yeah.
It's a power thing.
They know what they're doing. Okay,
power.
so big, low-hanging Bajoran earrings.
Oh, low hanging makes me uncomfortable.
Well, take it to Robert Blackman, the
I
costumer.
will.
Take it to the Bajoran faith. But okay, who do we award Fashion Watch to?
Well, I think we're divided.
A house divided, just like Bajor. Fine. We'll give 2 crowns to Kira's crocheted prostitute garb and the dominatrix.
And I think that's the thing about Best Friends Club, you know? We don't have to agree on everything.
I love you even when we disagree.
Yeah.
And Lily, it's truly great to be back at it.
It's been a homecoming. Yeah.
We're back on the horse, and for now, we're going to ride it into the sunset.
We're back on the horse. So we should do horse riding lessons.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to ride a horse.
Okay, so I should do horse riding lessons.
No, we do it together.
Okay, I'm in. I'm in. Well, everyone, we'll see you very soon for The Circle, part 2 of the trilogy.
Yes.
And also, just thank you everyone who reached out to us in the past year.
Yeah, I think it was a crazy ass year, but it was so lovely to get messages from people. There was this wonderful fan, Julia, who was writing her thesis at the time, who had like this wonderful take on some nonsense thesis that we had, and she'd turned it into something beautiful.
Yeah, she put it so much better than we could have.
Yeah, and that's just one name. I mean, there's so many fans who have reached out and just been so kind and so thoughtful and really like kindred spirits, which is, I guess, what you hope for in this life.
Yeah, so thank you for your patience and thank you for reaching out. It's been great to hear from all of you. Everyone else, please hit us up. We're on Instagram at deepspacewine_podcast. We're also on Facebook at Deep Space Wine. And also please give us a review. I think that's the best way to get our name out there. So if you've enjoyed us so far, give us a review on whatever platform you listen to podcasts.
And this is our first videographed. So are we on YouTube now?
We're on YouTube too.
Yes. Cole, are you now willing to accept some notes on your hotness?
I will only accept positive comments on my appearance.
No constructive criticism.
Lily will accept everything because she's made of brass tacks.
It's fine. You like it or you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I like it.
I like you.
All right, everyone. It's been a real pleasure. So thank you so much. And see you all very soon for The Circle.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.